Welcome to Geester's World. Thank you for tuning in. What's poppin', G babies? I love that you guys all tuned in. Let's just get this show straight up started. Hey, you know, we gotta start off the show with my G spot, which is music, art, different little things that are out there, just a creative outlet. This is like, obviously this is all creative, but this is where my creative segment, where other people's creativeness can show. And on this week's episode of Geester's World, we have musical guest LYSSIE LYNN. I want everybody to give a round of applause. The song is called Cafe in Manhattan.
Check it out. What up, guys? It's LYSSIE LYNN. I'm going to be singing Cafe in Manhattan.
Stream on Spotify, Apple Music, the music anywhere you need to stream your music from. Look up LYSSIE LYNN and Cafe in Manhattan. I need everyone to stream that song, share it. Thank you, LYSSIE LYNN, for that show. So let's get the guilty pleasures started. All right, let's get into the guilty pleasures. Thank you for tuning in, of course. Make sure you like and subscribe. Do you guys be watching it on the daily on TikTok? Anybody who's always on TikTok, do you guys watch this duo? This heartbreaking news. Like, this is just heartbreaking news. I love watching these two. It made me so happy. It would make me laugh. And I love getting into my guilty pleasures and all that stuff. But this particular topic today gotta be a tough one for the social media world. Just check it out.
You think I came down here for nothing? You gonna give me some gas money? You got $5 on you? Would you please go up?
Randy Gonzalez of the father-son duo on TikTok has passed away. He had passed away from colon cancer. He was fighting a battle for a while at only the young age of 35 years old. This got to be tough for all of us on social media that definitely watched him on TikTok. Their TikTok had over 300 million likes. It had over 3 billion views. Their family is very beautiful. They showed their love. He had a daughter, wife, all that. And he would show his struggle. For us on TikTok, the TikTok world, we were stalking everybody. We love watching our TikTok influencers. And this one got to be a sad one for us because we lost Randy Gonzalez. We know who they all are. It breaks all of our hearts. It breaks my heart. And at the end of the day, we just want to send out prayers, strength, and love to your family, honestly. His son, Bryce, he also is on that Lopez versus Lopez show with George Lopez and his daughter. And he's a hit. He's hilarious. He is so funny. And your dad was a soldier, Bryce. So I hope we're going to be praying for you that you stay strong. Don't give up on these dreams. Your dad worked really hard to get you here. And he got you there. And Randy, keep watching over this family in heaven. We will all keep praying. G-Babies, pray for their family. Pray for everybody in this situation. Definitely a sad one in the social media world. So, Beyonce, right? Like, everyone heard all over the news, you know what I mean? She performed in Dubai. What was pretty interesting is she was paid $24 million for that gig. And that has never happened for performers in the world. So, are we surprised? No, because Queen B, that's how it is. I'm not surprised at all. She's Queen B. But let's get into it, right? There was rules for this, right? It was a feast. Of course, millionaires had to come up out there. Celebrities were visiting. It was a beautiful, beautiful situation. It was so extravagant and all that. There was only certain clips. She had the rules of no phone. But, the Beehive is always going to be loyal to the Beehive first before they're loyal to Beyonce. So at the end of the day, they released some clips, and I got some of it for y'all. But check out just even the intro of how the show started with the song At Last. That intro was, like epic, as she is, just epic. So yeah, as you see in the set list, it started with At Last and ended with Drunk in Love. She had orchestra, she used the Lebanese dancers. She used a different construction. It was a different type of a culture as well in Dubai. Dubai has a lot of strict laws and they're strict to their culture and how things are handled. But at the end of the day, we'll get into that in a second. But I was astonished, though, that, she was paid $24 million. And as a Beehive fan, and not these crazy little Beehive trolls that we got, but a true Beehive fan, I appreciate the fact that she didn't let some paid gig give away Renaissance. You know what I mean? But there was backlash about that situation. But we'll get into that in a second. I still want to talk about the amazing, beautiful visuals and imagery that we got from the clips of Beyonce's concert.
I want y'all to help me sing this, okay? Girl. That truth about that question in your soul. Look up, don't look down, and watch the answers unfold. Life is your birthright, they hit that in a fine print. Take the pen and rewrite it. Step out your estimate. Step in your business. Wanna know this beautiful life. You'll never know.
Queen Bee, like I said, she used a lot of cultural situations. She was more to cover up this time. People trying to say she was pregnant, but she's not obviously pregnant to me. I think at the end of the day, she's doing the cultural thing in Dubai. You can't be just like, you know. So at the end of the day, like in Dubai, there's a lot of anti-gay laws, anti-women laws, anti a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? So she did a different type of look and was still able to perform as the crazy performer she is. If you see in the visuals, even Blue Ivy comes out looking great, which Mama Tina, by the way, made that outfit for her. So Mama Tina hit that sewing needle once again back for the stage for her granddaughter this time as she did for her superstar daughter. Like, I'm super excited because I hope they do like a DVD or something for this one. But this was the things that were leaked, and then she ended up receiving a lot of backlash saying that she didn't perform Renaissance, which is more of an LGBT album, and seeing that it's an anti-LGBT country, you would think she would have our backs or not perform there. But honestly, that ain't my opinion. My opinion is, at the end of the day, Queen Bee did what she was supposed to do, perform for that country. At the end of the day, if you really want to keep that energy, the selective outrage that everyone is having about if Beyonce should have performed there or not, then I guess you don't want her to perform in Texas and so many other states in America, right, where they have anti-gay laws and stuff like that. First of all, the only problem in Dubai is not just the anti-gay laws, it's the anti-everything. It's your anti-human rights. So at the end of the day, let Beyonce be a performer, because at the end of the day, yes, she could change the world as much as she can, but she's not the president or in charge of the United Nations. So, Queen Bee, thank you for delivering and all that, and also thank you for delivering this crazy note at the end of that concert. Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King, The Embrace, a massive bronze piece by Hank Willis Thomas, depicts a historic moment after Martin Luther King received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Just a few years ago, the conceptual artist Hank Willis Thomas had no idea he would be instrumental in commemorating, I said that word wrong, and the lives of Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King. But when his application was selected out of the 125 artists and architects to design a new monument in Boston, dedicated to the civil rights icon, he was shocked. Because when he submitted the proposal, he said, I didn't even think we had a chance. He had told NBC News. He is 46 years old, by the way. By the time everything was approved, I guess I've just been on autopilot. Like, how do I get in the way or not get in the way of history? It's been my mission for the past several years. Well, you did it, and that's dope. The statue was dope. Other people felt some type of way about it, but we, all of us that actually just saw what this meant, Martin Luther King meant love, and love wins always, period. All right, so more Super Bowl news. So, you know, this Sunday we'll figure out who's playing or not, but I am rooting for the 49ers. I don't know nothing about football, so didn't that sound convincing? I'm rooting for the 49ers. I gotta put my hetero voice on. Ready? I'm rooting for the 49ers. I know, scary, right? But anyways, more Super Bowl news. So Chris Stapleton will be singing our national anthem that day for America. Okay, the America's national anthem. But the real national anthem that I'm more excited to hear from is from Sheryl Lee Ralph. You know, original Dream Girl, Golden Globe winner, Critics' Choice winner for Abbott Elementary as well. But yeah, she'll be singing the Black Negro National Anthem, which is, you know, lift every voice and sing. I cannot wait to see it. And Babyface, y'all already know, is going to be singing America the Beautiful. So I cannot wait to tune into the Super Bowl this year. Congratulations, Miley. You hit #1. Token for you. I'm a Miley Cyrus hardcore fan. Love it. Can't wait till this album drops. Flowers, as you see, was #1 Billboard 200. The song is even dope. She did the video in the house where she was cheated on by those 14 girls. She dressed in the outfit where he was all telling her to shut up and all that stuff in her wedding. Listen, dropped it on his birthday. This was killer. This is how you do it, honey. Congrats, #1. So Brandon Urie from Panic at the Disco is letting us know in March that when the tour ends, there will be no more Panic at the Disco. He is retiring, basically, out of the music game. He is having a daughter, so congratulations. And he wants to change his whole life. You got to remember, everybody, this is sad to hear. But at the age he is and the success he already got, at the age he is so young, he has a whole new life and a new chapter he can start over and have the money and the means and everything to do it. They delivered us great music. We will always definitely cherish Panic at the Disco's music. Hope to see like a comeback tour in the future. But honestly, like, enjoy your life, bro. So check out this trailer. Chloe Bailey. I love her to death. Love Chloe and Halle, but love them separately for what they do, but love them both together as a duo. But let's talk about Chloe. Her anticipated album is finally coming out in March 2023. March is going to be a great month for new albums. Got Miley, Chloe, but check out this trailer. Dope!
When my heart on my sleeve, they all say I'm naive, but it's better than nothing. When did it all get so heavy now?
So Madonna's coming out with her new tour. She had to add more dates, and constantly this week had to add more dates. No tea, no shade. Her last tour with Madam X, and people really wasn't feeling that. Then she ended up getting sick and had to cancel the rest of the tour. But people weren't buying out those tickets that quick. But a legend like her has decades of music that people are so excited to see. So I am even excited to even want to go to the Celebration tour. The links are all over the Ticketmaster. Everywhere for the tickets. Go check it out. Go get your tickets to go see Madonna like a virgin. Ooh, touch for the very first time. Yeah, I like that bitch. Madonna, that bitch. It's so great to see Nick Cannon spending time with his kids. You know, he has a lot of kids, so I can't keep up with all of them, honey. I am not John plus 8 plus, you know, Nick and 28 kids. Like, I don't have the time, but I am a Mariah Carey fan, so these are Mariah Carey's kids, and I love this TikTok. Like, they just doing a lot of TikToks online if you want to follow them. And it's just so cute to see them, you know, his daddy mode and him doing TikToks and them dancing and having fun. They are just a cute little family. He's such a great father. There was a lot of juicy things that came up in the Cardi B and Jason Lee interview. But what was interesting is, you know, they asked her about plastic surgery. And here's just a quick clip on it. So just check it out and see how y'all feel. But y'all go on Jason Lee's, the Rebo app, YouTube. They also have the app and the Jason Lee show. Like, just go check out that interview. Was amazing. Cardi was so open about Offset, things in the industry, the cheating, how they're fixing stuff. Offset, I heard, will be on Jason Lee's show. I cannot wait to see this week. Krishan and Blueface was on. I don't like talking about them. They're pretty toxic, but I am a fan of Krishan, no lie. But definitely, go ahead, check out this clip.
I've always thought you were beautiful. Did you know you wanted to do different work to your body along the way, or like when did you decide you were going to make a change?
I always wanted to do certain things. You know, like a lot of people, and this is the thing, the tricky thing about a lot of people, right? People will be assuming that like when you do surgery or something, like you're insecure about yourself or you hate yourself. And that's just not the truth. I just be feeling like if I want to correct something, I want to do a little something like, I don't give a f***, I'm gonna do it.
Super excited because, you know, Girls Trip is getting a sequel. If y'all didn't catch that movie, you're living under a rock. Don't give a damn. Honestly, great movie. But this time it's going to be filmed in Ghana. Woo woo. You know they're about to get it in. The original cast will still be all returning. I cannot wait to see this movie. It's going to be like, I don't know, Girls Trip was fun. I made all of us, even at our age, be like, let's all do this, you know, with our friends. So I cannot wait to, super excited. MG, so check it out, the reaction. Congrats, Sam, for winning The Circle Season 5. I hope to get on The Circle one day. That would be so great. But yeah, enough about me and more about Sam. But yeah, check out this clip of Sam's reaction at The Circle. Congrats, girl.
I got anxiety. I'm hurt. I can't take this.
Where's my 18%?
Gotta give you some of the stuff because some of y'all love the Kardashians and stuff like that, but we gotta give you some of them too. But Kylie finally gave the name of her child. He's a cutie. The pictures, he's a cutie. His name is Air, not Ari, not Airy, Air, A-I-R, but it's spelled A-I-R-E. But congratulations, Kylie, that we finally got a name after a year. Some weirdo shit to be like holding out a name, but all right, do your thing, honey. Do your thing. Remember when he was born, like they changed his name and everything. Like it's weird. So, anyways, kudos to you, girl. His name is Air. Everybody, congrats, Air. Paris Hilton had her baby, and she posted a picture with her hand and his hand, and her husband Carter. Congratulations, Paris Hilton. You know I gotta give you your white people news, everybody. Paris Hilton, Joe Biden. Yes, if you guys read the tweet, I'm not reading all that for y'all, but y'all can read it because it's right there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But listen, the gas prices have gone down, and where I'm at in Massachusetts, I have seen it gone down. And honestly, the problem is, Mr. Joe Biden, these eggs need to go back down. These groceries need to go back down. This inflation is crazy, like crazy, crazy, crazy. Even people who used to be balling ain't feeling like they balling anymore. Like in the hood, let me tell y'all, the ones that were thinking they were balling all the time ain't balling no more. So Joe Biden, get it together with your white ass. So yes, I'm so excited always to, spill the hot tea with you and guilty pleasures. And, I forgot to spill my own tea before I spilled everybody else's tea. My bad, but let me spill my tea really quick. Still in love, relationship still going great. I'm looking for new career path. We are making this popping. We have more things coming out. The music is flowing. The ideas are coming. The attraction, the manifestation is coming. God is good all the time. And let's get this show going. Green light time. The library is officially open, bitches. So, RuPaul, Drag Race. So, Snatch Game finally happened, right? So, check it out. Let's get to the point, right? Because, I don't want to spill it all. But this is a spoiler alert. Everybody, spoiler alert. Blah, blah, blah. But it's already, come on. So, I need y'all to go check it out. Love y'all to death, but let's get to it. This was the worst person of the week. And I don't want to say, like, y'all need to go on the trolls and be like, fuck Spice and, say, mean ass things to people. Like, that's not what I mean. That's not what this show does. We're just talking about critiques just as a show. It's just a friendly competition, and that's the judgment that we're giving. But, honey, Spice, hot mess. Don't ever do Miley Cyrus like that. That was a disrespect to Miley Cyrus, and we is not having that here. I cut that, period. I love Lucy DeLuca's Joan Rivers, one of the best ones there. Definitely the best one there. Like, I enjoyed Joan Rivers has won in the past that character in Snatch Game in RuPaul's Drag History. So, like, when it comes to Lucy this time doing Joan Rivers, I really enjoyed it again. And kudos to you, Lucy. I'm watching you, girl. Lucy's one of those ones that I'm watching. Like, she's really, really tough. I'm not a hater, so, I'll say how I feel. Mistress Isabel Brooks, though, was another top contender for me. The way she did Rosie O'Donnell, she absolutely killed it. Like, she was so funny. And she also gave me that Abby Miller situation, too. Like, it was just funny. She brought this comedy and personality to it. But like I said, I'm not a hater. I didn't like her attitude in the beginning of the show when it comes to behind the work kind of situation. I thought she was a little abrasive at first, like a little haterish towards, Sugar and Spice, but then she ended up adopting them. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but it really don't matter. Mish just killed it in this challenge, like, no lie. Girl, you killed it. I'm watching you too. She remind me of Eureka, that kind of situation. Like, I was ready to cut it too, but I'm gonna give you your props, girl, okay? Because I'm not a hater. I was ready for this whole twin thing with RuPaul's Drag Race, right? With Sugar and Spice. But honestly, Sugar was annoying me the whole episode. She wasn't following any of the directions, obviously. It was a beautiful nightmare, the runway. And that was not a beautiful nightmare. So I didn't understand what Sugar was doing, even the whole episode. The choices they made at Snatch Game. Sugar and Spice this was a very disappointing situation. For this episode, I thought y'all were going to give us much more. But between Sugar and Spice, it's Sugar that I can't really, Like I said, the twins are something else. And Spice, she wasn't bringing it on the runway either. And I just thought that was just like, she wasn't bringing it in that episode. It was probably, one of their worst episodes. So obviously, you know who the choice is, obviously, to end up lip syncing their life away. like I said, the twins are something else. And Spice, she wasn't bringing it on the runway either. And one out of the top 2 looks for me on the runway was definitely Marsha. I love the whole brace face situation. She lived in the era of Marsha, the Brady Bunch era. And I love the fact that she brings in that fashion and that kind of swag in there. Honey, you're kind of lazy with the makeup though, so step it up. But I really did enjoy out of everybody's runway, her runway. Sasha Colby did not come to play. She came to slay. Honestly, she was my favorite runway look of the night. She just gave me Beautiful Nightmare, literally dripping Beautiful Nightmare. She is the body. She is the face. She got it all. I am definitely rooting for Sasha Colby as one of my top 4s. I am definitely rooting for her. It is early in the game, but I am rooting for Sasha Colby on a top 4 kind of situation. So Sugar and Spice obviously lip synced at the end because they did the worst of the night, and that's no tea and no shade, honey. Aria, you did pretty bad too, girl. I ain't even gonna lie. But what saved you was your runway look. I really did love your runway look. But yeah, Sugar and Spice ended up going. Sugar ended up going home. Spice, I'm glad she ended up staying because out of the twins, if I had to pick one, it was Spice who I saw a little bit more of, so that she could show more. But Sugar is a sweetheart. Sugar was great. Personality-wise, there are awesome little young people. Like I enjoyed them. I sound like Oprah, but I did enjoy them. But other than that, it was time for you to go, honey. So stop, Shay, away, honey. Next week's episode, can't wait to tune in. Green light is my time for RuPaul's Drag Race for right now. Until there's like another show that's really going in deep, and I'm gonna go break it down. And it could be just a regular drama, it could be Real Housewives or something. Like at the end of the day, I want to get it from the beginning to the end. So RuPaul had just started right in time when we started the Green Light segment, and that's what we're gonna continue doing. If you guys have any shows, movies, TV, your own projects, YouTube series, anything that you guys want me to check out and talk about on the Green Light and break it down, in my opinions, hit me up. I am open to do that. That is what the Green Light is for. So let's move along to the next segment, which is Scallywag of the Week. From allegedly defrauding a dog with cancer to performing as a drag queen, the Republican congressman has always been recently embroiled in a whole bunch of controversies. Introducing the Scallywag of the Week, Republican Congressman George Santos, who has recently been exposed for a truly astonishing array of falsehoods, has quickly become the world's most notorious liar when he built his campaign around the idea that he was the embodiment of the American dream. He was right in the way that he didn't intend. The U.S. has always loved the con man, and there is a long cultural tradition of a scammer as a folk hero. We can cheer on deception like this as a form of class warfare. If you didn't enjoy the benefits of an elite education or a vast trust fund, you can simply pretend otherwise and claim an imitation of a privilege you were denied. In recent years, fake it till you make it has been a Silicon Valley belief, but it's hard to think of someone who personified this phrase more than George Santos. Here's 60 seconds of his lies from the Mehdi Hassan Show.
60 seconds. Start the clock. George Santos said he attended the elite Horace Mann school, but poor thing had to drop out before he could graduate because he said his parents couldn't afford the fees. Turns out that was false. The school told CNN there's no record he ever went there. He said he had degrees from Baruch College and from NYU, but now admits he's never graduated from any university. He said he worked for Goldman Sachs and Citigroup. He now admits he didn't. He said he owned 13 properties as part of his family's real estate portfolio. He now admits he doesn't. He claimed he founded a tax-exempt animal rescue group called Friends of Pets United, but the IRS has no record of such a tax-exempt group. He claimed he lost 4 employees in the Pulse nightclub attack. The New York Times found no proof of that. He claimed to be biracial, half black, half white. He isn't. He said he was Jewish, called himself a proud American Jew, but now says he's Catholic, and only meant to say he was Jewish, whatever that means. Worse, he said his grandparents were Holocaust survivors. His campaign website described them as Belgian immigrants that fled the devastation of World War II Europe, even though the forward newspaper reports that they were born in Brazil. In fact, he said those grandparents were of Ukrainian descent, that his mother's family name was originally Zabrowski, even though CNN checked with professional genealogists who said there's no sign of Jewish and or Ukrainian heritage and no indication of name changes along the way. And in July of 2021, Santos said 9/11 claimed my mother's life, but soon after he said that his mother died in 2016. Yes, 15 years after 9/11. George Santos.
You're just repulsive, George Santos. It's a hot mess. The Republican Party, you are in shambles. Like shambles, get it together. But yeah, this news hit everywhere. It's talked about everywhere, all the hosts. Even Leslie Jones is sitting here on The Daily Show taking over, and she even had a couple things to say. Check it out.
Up a whole career as a businessman. He made up that his family was Jewish and his mom was a victim of 9/11. Ew. Ew. Do you know how much you have to lie to be known as the lying congressman? All these motherfuckers do is lie all day. But when you ask them who is the liar, they're like, this guy.
The crazy thing is that you guys stood behind him as well when y'all voted him as a congressman, your constituents, when like he does this anti-gay thing, and look, he's a drag queen, like go ahead, Kateria, that was his drag name. But it's just all these lies. But the worst part gotta be, I guess, the disabled veterans dog. I mean, check out the news.
Representative George Santos has allegedly stolen $3,000 in donations from a disabled homeless veteran's dying service dog. Santos allegedly used an alias to con the veteran and set up a GoFundMe page that would be deleted as soon as it hit its goal, and then Santos disappeared altogether.
You know, Peter don't play, the America don't play, you know what I mean? They'll let, you know, white cops continuing to shoot black kids before they put those in jail, and they'll put a white person in jail, though, for like millions of years for, you know, hurting a dog. So, you know, I would like to see some justice for this dog. One, and it's not even a joke, but honestly, it's ridiculous. It's disgusting. Like, I don't even know what else to say. Disabled homeless veterans dog. Like, how do you steal money from that? Like, ugh.
God! You evil and stupid.
The Republican Party, again, get it together. Y'all are in shambles. Everybody really need to get their votes, because I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, y'all just sitting here trying to, like, make me think otherwise, and look, this is like a look over there moment. Like, really.
I wonder if they put him in there on purpose so I can't pay attention to the other evil people. Anybody got any eyes on Marjorie Taylor Greene? What's up with that bitch? What?
She ain't even lying. Like, but Scallywag of the Week is George Santos. But Marjorie Taylor, you always gonna be a Scallywag of life. Okay, so thank you for tuning in to this segment where I tell you about the scum of the earth right now. Let's get to the next segment. So on G-Listers this week, it's just going to be a real quick segment because the actual award shows hasn't gone on, but the Oscar nominations did come out, and I just want to congratulate Angela Bassett for getting Best Supporting Actress in Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever, for real. Black Panther sequel did so well. It's been scraping up Golden Globes, scraping up all this, and this is Angela Bassett's first Oscar nomination. So let's root that the queen that should have been had mad Oscars gets her Oscar finally. I'm so excited. But yeah, let's get into a couple of the nominations. Congrats, Ruth Carter from our town, Springfield 413, right from where I live. Like, that is what's up. She did win it, that award, back at the first movie came out, and now this time she gonna scrape it up again because she know how to make what? Costume. Congrats, Ruth, showing out for the 413. Woo woo. We also got, you know, Best Visual Effects and Best Makeup as well for Black Panther. Black Panther definitely got some big nominations this year. Let's hope it takes the Oscars. It's also the first time, not just for the Golden Globes, for Marvel superhero movies. It's the first time for Oscar nominating Marvel superhero movie as well again. So it took Black Girl Magic to get to the Oscars, the superhero franchise. So pretty dope. Shout out to Black Panther. Of course, Rihanna's song Lift Me Up for the Black Panther soundtrack has also been nominated. It's her first Oscar nomination. So like, whoop whoop, she on her way on getting like Grammys, Oscars, everything. So, you know, shout out to Rihanna, looking great. That was at the Golden Globes when she was sitting down, actually. Of course, Lady Gaga and Rihanna are set to perform at the Oscars as well, because Gaga got a song in the Top Gun movie that was nominated as well. She's in the same category as Rihanna, and Rihanna's gonna be singing the Lift Me Up song. So I cannot wait. Rihanna's just like performing all over the place. But yes, that is confirmed, those two performances for the Oscars. The Grammys are coming up, everybody, February 5th. I definitely love the Grammys, so I'll be going into the episode. Like I do usually a Grammy episode There's just like no hot topics or anything on the Grammys. We'll see if I'll get that done for y'all this year. I used to do it on the podcast, so I can't wait. But yeah, Mary J. Blige, Steve Lacy will be performing. There's just a couple of the performances that are for sure happening February 5th. Having an unholy time with Kim Petras and Sam Smith. Have two people that had the biggest tours of their year, Lizzo and Bad Bunny. The Grammys is about to be popping, honey, popping. I can't wait to get into it more with the G-Babies, about my G-listers in my life, the celebrities I enjoy to give their flowers to, or even let y'all know what's been popping. So I can't wait for the Grammys. I can't wait for the Super Bowl. I can't wait for the Oscars. This year, let's just hope that all, like Issa Rae would say, all the black people win. In Geester's world, just like the one around us, life is full of many questions, comments, and concerns. On this show, instead of bypassing them and looking the other way, we just gonna go ahead and get into it. Based on the National Teachers and Principal Survey from 2017 to 2018, it was found that many teachers across the nation, only black men made up 2% of them. A number that has since fallen to 1.7 based on an article by ABC News. The link between teacher representation and student success is something that has been analyzed for years, with black boys receiving the majority of out-of-school suspensions in underrepresentation educational settings, and black boys even being more likely to graduate, though, that had one black teacher in their elementary school life. So what factor does representation really have on students? How can we as people counteract the negative impact of the underrepresentation in the schools? Well, who's better to get into it with us to give us more insight on this discussion than someone who is a main factor? Introducing my guest today, August Madison. All right, so welcome to Get Into It. So none other than August Madison. Hey, introduce yourself to everybody. What grade do you teach? And how long have you been teaching?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? My name is August Madison. G, thank you for having me on your show today. I'm a huge fan. You're a whole vibe, and yeah, I'm excited to be here. But yes, I've been working in the field of education since 2016. I started off as an English tutor. I did that for a few years, and that led to where I'm at now. I'm a paraprofessional with New York City's Department of Education, and I'm in my last semester, or sorry, my last year at Brooklyn College as an education major. So I'm really excited about that.
Nice. So you teach in New York. Have you always lived in New York?
No, I'm from California originally.
Yeah, shout out to Cali.
What's up?
So let's get to it. Let's get to the issue. Clearly not that you're the issue, but the issue at hand. Clearly, you're a black male teacher. Now, do you agree that there's a rarity of black male teachers in the game?
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely a rare experience to find black male educators in U.S. classrooms. According to an article in Education Week, only 7% of the educators in America are black, and 2% are black men. 2% are black men. And this is all because of the 1954 Supreme Court decision, Brown v. Board. Before that decision, you would see tens of thousands of highly qualified educators. After that decision, when segregation is made illegal, you will see the mass firing of black male, female educators in America. And that's why it's like rare to see black people in the classroom today.
Well, due to that Supreme Court decision and that situation going on, there was a mass firing of black male teachers. So that's why to this day we're still dealing with the low numbers of it. Because 7% is a really, really low number, you're saying.
And so 2% are black men.
That's insane. That's insane. That's insane that in 2023 we're still dealing with that kind of number. You know what I mean? It's really sad to see. So let me just get on the time machine really quickly and go back to young August Madison. So What was your experience like? Did you have diversity when it came to teachers growing up?
Actually, I did. I was very lucky to have educators, at least in my K through eighth grade experience. I was very blessed to have educators who looked like, spoke like me, who were primarily Black and Latino, who understood and respected the culture from which I came. And that can have myriad benefits on a Black child, especially a Black boy. Again, according to Education Week, having one Black teacher in the K through eighth grade experience can highly increase the child's chances of graduating high school, of enrolling in college. When there's one Black teacher in that K through eighth grade experience, we're more likely to be recommended for gifted educational programs and less likely to be suspended, expelled, detained. Overall, Black teachers have a higher expectation for their Black students. And so there's absolutely value in diversifying the teaching force. I was blessed to be able to benefit from, or I was blessed to be able to benefit from having, you know, the diversity in my school, at least at the K through eighth grade level. In high school, when I started taking AP classes, however, I was completely submerged in a predominantly white environment. And yeah, that was a different story. That's when I started to see these kind of things that we're talking about today.
So when you got to high school, basically, you were like the only Black kid in these courses, right? So
actually,
would you say that had extra more pressure on you? It was harder to deal with, especially coming from having diversity to no diversity?
I wouldn't say, you know, school is pressure. School is very competitive. It's a lot of hard work, whether you're taking general education classes or AP classes. So I don't.
Sure.
The term that best expresses what it was like for me in high school would be isolation. A lot of the people that I met and hung out with were the people in my classrooms. And I can remember hanging out with some friends or what have you, and how like they were always taking digs at the coarseness of my hair or my dialect, for example. Like, why do you say X instead of ask? You know what I mean? So when I was with those people in those AP classes, and mind you, I would get this from teachers too, correcting my dialect. What I was saying was absolutely on point, but you're so focused on my dialect, it can make you feel isolated, especially when you look to your left and your right and you don't see anyone who looks like you. When I would go and hang out with like my friends from the block or my friends from the hood or whatever like that, they would often make fun of me for being too whitewashed. And you know, like I wanted to be white so bad because I was, you know, serious about my studies, you know what I mean? And so I really felt isolated in high school. Eventually, I would find my group for support or my system for support through theater, in the theater community.
Nice. Shout out to the theater community.
It's because of them that like I'm doing what I'm doing today. It's because of that community that I'm doing what I'm doing today. So yeah, it's really awesome that I get to use that experience and have it reflect in the classroom.
Yeah, theater is an important element that everyone should at least go through one part in their life, at least try it out just one time, because you don't even know everything that it can bring out in you. You know what I mean? So it's such a powerful community. So yeah, honestly, you must have had only like a few Black male teachers then in your life. So can you remember some of them just on the top of your head because of how rare it was?
I mean, absolutely. You remember every black male teacher you have because, like we said before, it's not a common thing in America. But yes, you know, and they have a huge impact on you too, especially when you are a Black man. You know, I've been in school now for almost 4 years, and I've only had 2 Black male teachers, and it was so powerful to me. My first Black male professor in my second semester at BMCC was an openly Black gay male. And when I seen him in the classroom, like I was just amazed. I felt seen. I felt understood. Like the way we talk to each other is like sometimes we didn't even have to say anything, and we understood what each other was meaning. You know what I mean? And I was just a student. Like we wasn't close or nothing like that. But watching him, I admired him, and I could see myself doing what he was doing. Before this professor, I only saw myself as a high school or elementary school teacher. However, after watching him and being in his class, I was like, nah, I could do exactly what he's doing. I could probably do it better. And you know, he inspired me to get my doctorate, to get my PhD, or at least to see it as an option. Before him, I never saw it as an option. And I feel like this is the power of representation, that you can actually imagine yourself in places of power when you couldn't before. So it's important that we get more Black, gay, Spanish, Asian teachers in the classroom, because our country is not only white, and we do need to be able to cater to and provide a quality.
Y'all heard that? The country is not only white, everybody. Y'all heard that? Just saying. I just want to reiterate that part. Like the country is not just white.
The country is not just white, and so the teaching force should not be primarily white. That's the point that I'm getting to.
So yeah, definitely. Like the country is not white. Probably like my favorite line right now. Definitely. So how do you think, though, the lack of diversity in the current 2003 is impacting students still today? Like, what are examples of how it's impacting these students?
How are students impacted because of a lack of diversity in the teaching force? Teachers are more likely to punish Black students.
Talk about it.
For the same offense of their white counterparts. So this can have huge ramifications on the Black child, for example, right? Because when you kick a child out of class, for example, for something petty, for wearing a hoodie, that kid is now missing out on learning. Everything really matters, and it snowballs, right? So when you kick that kid out for not taking off his hoodie because he was cold, or you kick her out because she was braiding her hair and you don't understand her culture, so you think she's being rude, but she's not being rude. She's just maintaining herself. And then you kick them out. They're missing out on learning. And then they are not able to take tests or pass tests. And then they're in the, trust me, I see it all the time. We have fifth graders who have third grade reading levels. You know what I mean? And a lot of the reasons is because they were always kicked out of the class for petty reasons, for your hoodie, you're brushing your hair, why do you have a do-rag on? These things, a do-rag does not stop me from learning. So again, to your question, how does lack of diversity impact students in a negative way? When they're not in the classroom, they cannot learn. When the classroom is a stressful environment or a hostile environment, they cannot
talk about it.
And when teachers, so I didn't talk about this earlier, but I do want to bring in like implicit and explicit biases, because we all have them. Like we all have explicit biases that we're aware of, and we all have implicit biases that we're not aware of. And a lot of the times, white teachers have implicit biases that they're not aware of, and they end up not meaning to hurt the child, but they do. And a lot of the times it's because there's a cultural disconnect, and it ends up harming the child in major ways. This is the importance of diversifying the teaching force.
Honestly, in situations like where Black kids are already dealing with this lack of diversity, like, what do you think we could all be doing, or who do you feel is responsible to do something about this?
There's definitely the good thing. The good thing is that things are being done right now.
Talk about it.
We're very much aware that this is a real thing. And there are some links I believe I sent to you. I hope that you put them in the in the
description box. You know, I put everything in that little box.
And please go ahead and read them because it's a lot of powerful information in there. But yes, we have implicit biases, we have explicit biases. The question was, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. What can we do? What can we do to circumvent these negative impacts? First thing I would say is, like what's happening in my state, in New York City, we have a recruitment. There's recruitment. It's called NYC Men Teach. It's incentivized. So basically what they do is they go out and they look for young Black, they just look for diversity. And they try to bring people in, encourage them to be teachers. And they don't just bring them in and be like, sign up for, sign up, change your major.
Right.
They offer academic support. They offer financial support. They offer emotional support, so that if you do decide to join this group, or if you do decide to take this major on as your career, this profession on as your career, you will be successful. Programs like NYC Men Teach, I suggest you guys look that up. If there's anybody out there,
look that up. If you are out there, get into that. Get into it. More states need to pull that up.
Especially if you're in New York, yeah, jump into NYC Men Teach because they really do help you succeed. They have great partnerships. They have great support teams. So yes, Chicago's doing something similar where we're getting new, fresh blood, diverse folks in the classroom. And then the other, that has huge positive effects on our students. Another thing that we can do is train our teachers and pre-service teachers as well. So train our current teachers and our pre-service teachers to adopt and promote a culturally relevant pedagogy. Pedagogy is just a fancy way of saying teaching strategies, practices, philosophies, right?
For those who didn't know, thank you.
But yes, and basically, when you adopt a culturally relevant pedagogy, I'm just going to call it CRP. When you adopt CRP, what that does is you're promoting in students empathy. You're promoting in students cultural competence. You're promoting in students social awareness. And all these things have positive impacts for the overall development of the child. But in order for the teacher to give that to the child, it has to be in the teacher first, right? So we need to train them in order to be able to practice and espouse CRP.
Let's get that CRP popping. But honestly, would you say that in the school system that you're working in now, would bias training be really helpful if they would implement that in all the schools right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. Because we all carry we all have biases that we're aware of, right? We all have biases that like, oh, I don't like this type of person, or I don't like the type of people that does this, or I don't like people who look like that or have that kind of hair. But we also have implicit biases where we don't like someone or something, but we're not aware of it. We avoid it, but we're not actively aware that we're doing it. It's a real thing. And teachers have it. As good teachers, they're aware of this and they're constantly checking themselves and looking for, well, what's my bias? Because we all have them, and they affect the way we interact with our kids. They affect the way we interact with their parents. So we have to ask ourselves, what is my implicit bias? So that you can start to circumvent it, so that you can start to negate those detrimental impacts.
Shoot, I'm with you on that. I can't even sit here and disagree that we all don't have biases as human beings. I know, G-Babies, that we all got biases. As you see on Scallywag of the Week, I'm very biased to white, foolish, racist, evil people. So at the end of the day, like, we do have our biases, and some of the unaware ones is the one we have to really get aware sometimes into. So I agree that bias training needs to be put in the teacher force, police force, and all type of things that have some type of authority or teaching situation that goes on. So before we get to the last question, what is something that you would change currently right now in education when it comes to the diversity? What would you right now be able to, if you could just do anything magically change it, you had all the money in the world to change something, what initiative would you be able to start?
I would pay teachers more. I would pay teachers more. And
yeah, now can we get an election that somebody says that?
And I would make sure that and make the criterion a lot more difficult to become a teacher. And every state is different. Every state is different, right? So, for example, in New York City, in New York State, you have to have a BA to teach, and then you get 5 years to get your master's to continue teaching, to stay teaching. But in states like California, you can have, and mind you, you can have a BA in anything. You don't need to have a BA in education. You can have a BA in liberal arts. And let me not say that because I'm not shitting on liberal arts.
A lot of people start there though. A lot of people start there in the education world. They do start there. So no shade. Liberal arts is a great way to start.
Let me say something a little bit more obscure. You can have
if they were gonna do like Legally Blonde, like fashion and merchandising, would that still count?
There we go. You can have a bachelor's in fashion and still work as an educator. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that with the right person, but there's so much information.
I don't know if I want Elle Woods teaching me yet. Okay.
I mean, she is the GOAT though. She's the GOAT. So
she's a good lawyer. She is. I don't know about teacher.
She got that a murdering woman off or whatever like that.
She did. She did.
So I'm just saying she could be on my side. But no. Yeah, I would pay teachers more. And
would you change the curriculum? Like, would you change the whole 7 to 3 situation? Like,
I was saying that I would make the requirements to become a teacher a little more difficult, because I do feel like if you're going to go into the field of education, you should know the history of education in America, the different like why things are the way they are now, because there is a lot of injustice between or achievement gaps between white folk and black folk, and they're on purpose. It's not by accident. This school policing, for example, there's a reason why you see police in predominantly black schools or predominantly people of color.
Yeah, they were only in my schools. Like, I didn't understand.
When you go to private schools, you don't see no police. When you go to predominantly, even public schools that are predominantly white, you don't see police there. So again, that's what I would change. I would pay teachers way more money, and I would make the requirements a little more difficult, so that we have the best of the best in the classroom, because teachers really are raising the next generation. So they're like the most important, like they're pillars of our community. The pandemic showed that. I'm sorry, you had asked another question.
No, I would just say if you would change the curriculum of like not only the policing, like, but the fact is, like, I've noticed, and a lot of statistics have shown that kids have strived better if they started school at least a little 2 hours later instead of so early.
So, yeah, I feel like,
just in a teacher's perspective, I just want to, dig in your brain quickly and just see what you would think about that. Like,
I would change the curriculum. I mean, personally, for me, I feel like the school week should only be 4 days. You know what I mean? I always felt like that, though. But
is it because you want the Friday off, though?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still like to twerk and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not 50 yet. I'll be 50 in like two years, so I got some time. You know what I mean?
I'm done. That's that black boy magic right there. Okay.
Could you believe it? But no, what I would Absolutely. I mean, so first off, the institution of education in America does need a complete reformation. So asking what I would change, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation, right? I mean, I would diversify the teaching force. I would make the pay, I would increase the pay, make the requirements a little more difficult. When it comes to curriculum, I mean, obviously we have horrible curriculum. We were taught that Christopher Columbus founded America. So we have horrible curriculum. So I would, and the cool thing about education is there's so many different philosophies and
methods and different ways of teaching.
Absolutely. I do feel like an African-centered pedagogy would be beneficial. Like I said before, culturally relevant.
You hear that, Florida? You hear that, Florida?
No, seriously though, because we are living, I forget the term, but our world is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller with technology.
It is.
It would be irrational for you not to learn who your neighbor is, right? Like, I'm in America, I should know a little bit of Spanish if I live, you know what I mean? I'm in America. I mean, if you're in Florida and Cuba's right there, yeah, you should know a little bit about the Cuban culture, especially when you get older and you start making business deals and everything like that. You know what I mean? So our curriculum definitely needs to reflect the diversity in our country. There's a lot that I would change. That's a loaded question.
I love the answer. So Joe Biden, if you're hearing out there right now, if you're looking for a Department of Education, there we go. August Madison for that. So before I let you go, August, what effect do you plan to have with your children in the classroom when you finally get into your own classroom? Like, what are you excited the most about that you're going to bring to the table?
Man, what I hope I'll do, my mission as a teacher, as an educator, is to empower my students, to give them the tools that they need, the confidence that they need, so that they feel like when they go out into the world doesn't happen to them. They happen to the world. This is their world to claim and own. And so they should leave my classroom feeling just a little more empowered to take autonomy over themselves. All I want to do all I would like to do as an educator, and I hope the impact that I have is to lead with love, to lead with compassion, to lead with discipline and understanding. Yeah.
Oh man, thank you so much for coming on to get into it. But as you heard, like RuPaul would say, everybody say love, and and that is literally what's going to win, in life. So at the end of the day, thank you for coming on to get into it. Thank you for bringing up this issue. This issue is something we always going to continue to keep talking about, because not 15 minutes or 20 minutes can just give us all this in one time. But I appreciate that we're starting the conversation on this platform. So thank you so much, August, for coming on to get into it with the Geester. I hope you come on again in the future. I hope we get to see some of that theater work, some of that artistic sides of you, besides just being the hardcore teacher you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I want to end my show with my royal decree, darlings. Prince G, you know how I do. But the best way out is always through. Robert Frost. When caught up in an unseemly situation, we usually look for the easy way out. And unfortunately, procrastination is the natural response. This quote serves us with a reminder that perhaps the best route is going through the problem rather than around it. And as a result, you'll find that good things begin to happen when you cease to delay and beat around the bush and take matters in your own hands to resolve things. Manifest your dreams. It's not too late. Grasp the hand of God and start walking in your true path and create that stage of life that you want. Thank you, G-Babies, for tuning in. I love doing what I do. Love the comments, love the likes, like everything.
Where else to run? Manhattan's all I see. So tell me you'll be with me. God, I lost my mind. Lives all my sanity.
Hey, everybody. everybody, thanks for tuning in once again to Geester's World. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the future episodes where hopefully get Corey T on. Check out his new single that just dropped, Differ. Stream it anywhere you stream. Hit it up on Instagram, The Real Corey T. It'll be in the descriptions. But listen to the song Differ. It is dope. I hope to have him on G-Spot one of these days.
Just to find myself thankful that I made it through. And now you're talking about love, but your love wasn't true. See, it took for me to leave.
Hey, now we can just like take off everything, you know. Hair when it's fucked up, crib when it's filthy. You know what I mean? I'll show you guys the real me. So why, you know, taking off my stuff, you know, at the end of the episode already. So can y'all just hit like, subscribe, make sure you share it, tell your friends that you enjoyed this episode on Geester's World. But yeah, I'm gonna show you all my secrets and goodies. So tune in.